Yeah, my name is Eleftherios and I'm the founder of the Drips project. I started consuming first, just like reading and interacting with open source code. And then at the university we're also using one of the main programming languages we're using was also open source. Basically my whole career from that point on was built on open information, right? Open access to source code and also open information around source code. So it goes back to like 20 years. There's the social aspect of open source, which I think is not discussed as much as the economic impact and the general impact on progress. But the social aspect of it was very attractive to me. It felt really natural, this idea of a bunch of people on the internet just collaborating together without any particular reason, just out of like the love of like the craft, and usually like they were solving a problem that they have. That's a pattern you see on open source, that you work on something that you have as a problem and it happens that more people have the same problem, so you start collaborating. So that whole dynamic, that whole social dynamic is very attractive to me and always was very attractive to me. At a later point in my career, I realized that many of the things that I was taking for granted, they were actually under threat. And they were under threat in two ways. The first way is that already in 2017, I realized that GitHub is becoming the home for open source. And GitHub is an American company that now is owned by Microsoft. And being interested in politics, I realized that that actually puts open source in danger, right? Like back then, still we were living more in a monopoly type of world, but already. What does that mean for open source, and what does that mean for the toolkits and the platforms we use for open source? So that's actually where the radical idea came from. And then the other thing that I realized that open source is in danger is the problem of open source sustainability, of course, where I realized that there's an opportunity here to have many of these people actually earn a living while they maintain critical infrastructure, and that's not happening by default. You need to do something, and there are many problems along the way. So, yeah, I decided to do something about it. We have corporations, and within crypto networks, we have protocols and DAOs, organizations that produce revenue, and now we have the tools to be able to programmatically and continuously reward the developers that enable that revenue to take place. This is the dream. The dream for developers is to be writing open source software and be able to receive funding from entities that benefit from their work without milestones, without expectations, as just an appreciation of the work they do. And yeah, I think with Drips really going for that dream. It's really it's like a bold take, and we'll see how well we will do with that. But yeah.